It's Friday, April 26th. The Supreme Court on Thursday appointed a committee headed by retired Judge Justice A.K. Patnaik to probe claims made by lawyer Utsav Bais of a larger conspiracy to frame Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi in a sexual harassment case. The bench made it clear this committee will not look into the charges of sexual harassment made against Chief Justice Gogoi. Meanwhile, the former Supreme Court employee who has accused Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi of sexual harassment has written to the inquiry committee headed by Justice S.A. Bobde, expressing concerns over the composition of the committee. A three-member committee consisting of Justice Bobde, Justices N.V. Ramana and Indira Banerjee was appointed on Tuesday to look into the allegations against Justice Gogoi. Bobde is the senior-most judge in the Supreme Court after the Chief Justice. A notice was reportedly sent to the woman asking her to be present before the committee on Friday. In her reply addressed to the three judges of the committee, the complainant said she was not aware of the composition of the inquiry panel before reading news reports. Citing the Vishakha Guidelines and the Sexual Harassment of Women in the Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, the complainant said the Supreme Court's inquiry committee does not have a majority of women members and an external member as mandated by law. The former court employee also objected to Justice N.V. Ramana being included in the inquiry committee. She alleged that Ramana was a frequent visitor at Justice Gogoi's house and was a close friend of the Chief Justice and is like a family member to him. She said that on the 20th of April, the day her affidavit was sent to Supreme Court judges, Justice Ramana had dismissed her allegation while speaking in Hyderabad. The Times of India had quoted him as saying, "We have seen such attempts in the past and will see some more in the future. Do not be wary of such criticisms as we have to uphold the dignity of the judiciary." On Thursday, Justice Ramana recused himself from the inquiry panel. The woman said she was concerned about the statements made by Justice Gogoi and other judges during a hearing of the special bench constituted on Saturday. The complainant also cited a blog post written by Union Minister Arun Jaitley. "My character was damaged without any reason and without hearing me," she said. "Because of these events, I'm scared and feel isolated and depressed." The complainant requested the committee to allow her to be accompanied by a lawyer and a support person during the hearings, and that the proceedings of the committee be video recorded and a copy of the recording be provided to her so there can be no dispute about what transpired. Priyanka Gandhi will not be contesting elections from Varanasi after all. Ending speculation that the Congress General Secretary and one of the star campaigners for the party could be fielded to take on Prime Minister Modi, the Congress on Thursday named former MLA and Varanasi local Ajay Rai as its candidate. Rai had been fielded by the party in the 2014 elections as well. He was earlier with the BJP. The Chief Electoral Officer of Tamil Nadu has sought a report from the Chennai District Electoral Officer after it emerged that actor Srikanth was allowed to cast his vote on the 18th of April despite his name being absent from the voters list. The actor told the News Minute, "The polling officer allowed it since I was issued an election ID. After I got back home, I realized that my Aadhaar card had the new address and later I found my voting was supposed to be in Valluvar Kotam." The report points out that the booth where the actor voted and his new address are in different constituencies, Chennai South and Chennai Central respectively. Another actor, Shiva Karthikeyan, was also reportedly allowed to cast his vote at a polling booth when his name did not figure in the voters list. A brain implant that can effectively read minds by turning thoughts to speech has been designed by researchers at the University of California, San Francisco. The device, which could potentially change the lives of people unable to speak due to paralysis or illnesses like ALS, throat cancer, Parkinson's, unlike all predecessor devices, does not attempt to catch brain signals and figure out which wave translates to what word. Instead, it functions like a virtual vocal tract, write researchers in Nature magazine. An electrode planted in the brain catches electrical signals the brain makes to move our lips, tongue, voice box and jaw to make a sound, and passes it on to a virtual mouth. The speech heard is slightly slurred.
The proof that you're seeing is available in words. She filled it with the mass ini process.
Some sounds, such as sh and z, were synthesized accurately, and the general intonation and gender of the speaker was conveyed well, but the decoder struggled with b and p sound, reported The Guardian. It is yet to be seen if the device can be adapted to people who have never spoken, whose brains perhaps do not have a movement of mouth to sound link. That's it for today. See you next week. Love your morning fix? Help support our journalism. Subscribe to Scroll Plus using the link in the description.